Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nadia Araya. I am a researcher at the Agricultural Research Council. My presentation will focus on the potential of rainwater harvesting and conservation systems as an adaptation strategy to climate change for rain-fed crop production in South Africa. According to the latest statistics, the total arable land area in South Africa sums approximately 10.3% of the total land area in the country, which is equivalent to 12,500,000 hectares, of which only 10.4%, equal to 1.3 million hectares, is under irrigation. Now, considering the fact that only a minority of the total arable land is under irrigation, as I mentioned, 1.3 million hectares, with the remaining being cultivated under dry land, 11.2 million hectares, the situation is aggravated, as 70% of the country is under high to severe drought. This is particularly evident in the Eastern Cape and Western Cape provinces, where there is low and erratic rainfall patterns and high atmospheric evaporative demands, causing a negative water balance almost throughout the year. The situation is becoming more severe lately, causing drastic consequences for agricultural productivity and crop production in particular. For example, it has been reported that each 1% decline in rainfall is likely to lead to a 1.1% decline in maize production. Now you can imagine the consequences over the past years, as it has been reported that South Africa has been 6% drier over 10 years between 1997 and 2006 as compared to past years. Thus, there is a need to investigate possible solutions to mitigate the effects of climate change on crop production. Therefore, the aim of this study is to investigate the potential of field rainwater harvesting and conservation as an adaptation strategy to climate change for rain-fed crop production in South Africa. Case study of maize, Swiss chard, and amaranth. Field trials were conducted in 2 different locations of Pretoria, which are Hatfield and Roodeplaat. The trial in Hatfield was conducted during the 2018 season, where several rainwater harvesting strategies were investigated on maize production, including different design ratios of the in-field rainwater harvesting technique, basically different lengths of catchment cropping area, the in-field rainwater harvesting technique with different runoff surface treatments on the catchment area, plastic versus bare catchment, the in-situ rainwater harvesting, and a conventional flat cultivation practice used as a control treatment. While the trial in Roodeplaat focused on similar rainwater harvesting and conservation practices, but on leafy vegetables such as amaranth and Swiss chard. And it was conducted over 2 consecutive seasons, 2014 to 2016. Zooming into the different cultivation practices that were investigated, the in-situ rainwater harvesting basically captures the rain where it falls. There is no contribution of runoff added into the system. The in-field rainwater harvesting involves 2 separate systems: a catchment area for the harvesting of rainfall, and a cropping area for collection and storage of runoff for crop production purposes. So in this system, there is a double amount of water supply in comparison to the previous system. These practices were compared to against a conventional flat cultivation practice with or without the application of mulching. Construction of the rainwater harvesting systems or field setup of the systems involved several steps from plowing the field or the land and field demarcation all the way to rotation and planting. Several field measurements were conducted to evaluate the performance of rainwater harvesting systems, including crops' response to the various technologies tested. During the implementation of the trials, the amount of runoff collected during rainwater harvesting was also measured from different catchment areas using automatic tipping buckets. Runoff collection increased with an increase in the catchment area size, and from a bare catchment to a plastic-covered catchment. Runoff collection The trial on maize was conducted in a wet season with about 800 millimeters of annual rainfall. As a result, the best performing cultivation practice was the in-field rainwater harvesting with either plastic or a bare catchment area. While for leafy vegetables, the in-field rainwater harvesting performed best in the dry season, while in the normal season, the in situ or even a conventional flat cultivation practice was sufficient to meet the crop water requirements. Profile soil water content was significantly higher with the in-field rainwater harvesting in both dry and normal seasons. The effect of mulching was only positive during the normal season with a higher annual rainfall amount, while in the dry season, mulching did not result in significant effects on soil water conservation. In conclusion, runoff collection efficiencies were on average 89% on bare and plastic-covered catchment areas, respectively. Therefore, there was a potential for additional water supply to crop production, up to 700 millimeters of water in a normal rainfall season. This means potential for expansion of arable farming or arable land up to 2 times more. The ideal rainwater harvesting and conservation strategy is crop and season dependent. Therefore, long-term climatic data linked to crop model should assist with successful design and implementation of rainwater harvesting and conservation practices. Projects. I would like to acknowledge the Agricultural Research Council for the implementation of this study, the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform for funding, as well as the University of Pretoria for human capacity building. Thank you.